Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Rabbi shadli wa silli amri wa hlul uqdam min lisani yafqahu qawli. So we're doing a very quick video on the 112th surah, so Surah Ikhlas. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. So, as I said, it's a very short surah. It's one that is popularly recited during namaz. I know myself, I often would like to recite it because it is a short surah. But once I've understood the value and the worth behind it, subhanallah, it just became that much more, well, obviously meaningful. Hence why it's important for us to understand the translation. And on a quick one from that as well is if you're trying to improve your focus and your ihsan during namaz, then if you do read namaz with knowing the meaning behind a particular surah, then naturally you'll find yourself being more focused. So may Allah give us a tawfiq to understand the meaning and translation, so that we can increase our focus during namaz. Amen. So Surah Ikhlas is a praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is said that our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would often like to recite Surah Kauthar and Surah Ikhlas during Fajr namaz. Because both are a praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he liked to start the day reciting those two, and then again reciting the two of them at the end of the day during Witr namaz. So before Dua Qunut and Rakat number 3, he would like to recite first of all with Surah Ikhlas and then with Surah Kauthar. It is also believed that our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and there's hadith about this as well, that he would often like to remind all the Sahabis and the people that reciting Surah Ikhlas was equivalent to the worth of 1/3 of the Quran, subhanallah. So next time you do read namaz with Surah Ikhlas, please try and ensure that you understand the meaning behind it, which we're going to cover in the next minute or two. Trust me, as I said earlier in the video, when you're reading namaz with understanding the meaning of which surah that you're reading, you do find yourself enjoying it that much more. And obviously our ihsan and our focus needs to be on point, because who are we standing in front of? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these 4 verses. So verse number 1, Qul, say, He is Allah, the one and only, Allah, the eternal absolute. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten. So we've got 2 kind of old English words there, which I'll go into in just a second. And there is none like unto him. So we are very clearly stating and making aware that we are aware that Allah is the one and only. He is the eternal, so lifelong. There's no end to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that He is the absolute. Okay, absolute. How often do we use the word absolute? That's absolutely this, absolutely that. That's the absolute end of it. So we understand that absolute obviously means at the very top there's nothing else above that, whatever the context we use the word absolute in, and that there is none like unto him. So keywords again. So again, you can look at the document that's in the descriptions, a Google Drive link to the PDF of the notes that I'm referring to. So Qul means say. Now, again, every single time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word Qul, it means say. Now, it's actually an instruction to our Prophet, peace be upon him, for him to say to the people. So if you look at the translations and you look at the way it's written, you'll often see that it's almost like a script, like a drama script, where it says say, and then it's got the rest of the message in apostrophes. So it's actually a message to our Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to go and say to the people. So ahad, so qul huwallahu ahad. So ahad is no other. It means the one, singular, no other, just that one. Okay, so easy to understand that Allah is just the one. So samad is the praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to call him the eternal, to call him the absolute, that there is no other like him. And I suppose you could look at it as an extension to the word ahad. So you then have yalid and yulad. So walam yalid, walam yulad. And it says begetteth and begotten. So the kind of thing, if you look at the different variations of the translations of or the different uses of different words, the main thing you need to get off is that there's no one before him and then there's no one after him. So before me was my father, before my father was his father, so my grandfather, and then after me will be my children, and my great grandchildren, and so on. So Allah has no children. There is no one before him, and there is no one after him. Again, because of the fact that Allahu Ahad, Allah is just the one. And then Kufuwan Ahad, so the combination of Kufuwan. Kufuwan means the equivalent, so there's no one equivalent. So Kufuwan Ahad, the combination of Kufuwan with Ahad, again repeats the singularity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he alone is, him, and no others are equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again, please try next time you do recite this particular surah to understand the meaning and to say it with a lot more intent. I will do a video regarding reading namaz with a lot more intent and with a lot more focus as well, because I know I'm still guilty of it sometimes when I'm reading namaz. And I sometimes have shaitan come into my head about worrying about, oh, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do that, or what about the next day of work, or whatever it is. And one thing that helps is just slowing things down, slowing the recitation down, and also reciting surahs that you know the translations to. So that's the end of that. Again, like, subscribe, share. Please have a read of the notes. And again, like I said, may Allah give us all tawfiq to increase our knowledge. And please forgive me if there's any errors or mistakes I've made. Again, interact with the video. If there's anything that you think, actually, Tam, you need to know this. As I've said in other previous videos, please do let me know. And I'm always keen to right my wrongs. May Allah give us all the tawfiq to increase our knowledge and to share that knowledge amongst other people. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.